Building decentralized application part 3, the API. Checklist. We'll set up the Express app template for the API. We'll have a walkthrough of the template, then create a contract connection object, write API routes to issue and retrieve certificate using the connection object, test the API by running the application. First, we'll use a custom KBA tool to create a basic Express app template. Use the following command to do so. Name the app certificate-app, select JavaScript, no template engine, and finally npm as the package manager. Wait for it to finish installing the dependencies, change into the directory and run the application using the command npm run dev. It is listening on the localhost port 8080. Open a new terminal and use curl to test the application. And we got the hello world response. Stop the app and open it up in VS Code. Now let us go through the template that we just created. The package.json is the configuration file of the Express node project. Configurations like script for running the application, list of all dependencies for the project, etc. Inside the src folder is where our project code resides. The server.js file in the bin is for configuring the Express server, such as port on which the application is run. The file is also the entry point for our application. Then we invoke app.js file from the server.js file. This is where we import dependencies and add them to the Express app. We also import the handler files for the route, like the route which showed us hello world before. So here we create an instance of the Express library, then add a logger module, which is used for logging request and response activities of the server. The JSON and URL encoded modules make the JSON data conveniently accessible in our route handlers. Finally, cookie parser for session management. Then we'll also define the routes and point them to their handler code like index.js file, which handled the route we tested before. Inside the index.js file, we import router from Express, then use it to create a get route with 2 parameters, the sub route and a callback function to handle the route. We'll also make the router function available for the other files. So that's the template walkthrough. Next, let us create a smart contract connection object. So first thing first, create a new folder lib and copy the sut.json and deployed underscore address.json from the previous hard hat contract deployment. Next, create a new file named instance.js. Here we will define our connection object. Before that, we will need to install ether.js, which we will use to connect the contract deployed on the blockchain. Here it is the hard hat node simulation. In instance.js, we import the contract and JSON RPC provider function from the ethers module. We'll also import the deployed address.json and sut.json to get the contract address and ABA respectively. We'll create a connection to the hard hat node. Since it's a simulation, all the accounts in the environment are unlocked, so we can simply retrieve them using the getSigner method. Finally, we'll create an instance using the contract address, AB, and signer objects. Then we will export it to be available in the file that imports instance.js. Now open index.js, import instance.js. Then let us create a new post route. Let's call it issue, as this will be for issuing a new certificate. We'll open a try block inside the route and use the smart contract connection object instance to call the issue function by passing in the required parameters. We'll wait for the transaction to finish and log out the transaction received. Also, return it as the route response. In case of any error, we'll log it out and send the error as the route response. We'll have another get route called fetch to get the certificate data. Here, we also open a try block. We'll call the certificates function via the instance object to get the details of the certificate ID we passed in. We'll log out the result and provide that as the route response. Also, in case of error, we will log it out and return the error as the route response. Before running the app, make sure that you have the hard hat node running and have deployed the contract. Also, the deployed address.json has up-to-date deployed contract address. Now run the application. We got an error because I forgot to remove the user.js mentions from the app.js when I removed it. So go to the app.js and remove it. Okay, so the code is updated and the server is automatically rerun as we run our server using the NodeMon development server. Let us test it using Postman. So I have the issue request configured. It is a post route with our server issue route URL and the body has the raw JSON input data. Click send. And we got the transaction receipt. Let us try retrieving it. We'll specify the ID in the URL and click send, and we got the data back. That's it. Thank you.